much. Thank you.
You're welcome, Janelle. This spot is notorious for buses lined up along here.
Oh, okay.
And transit doesn't necessarily share their space very well, so it's always like, okay, I'm watching for the buses while I watch for you.
Yeah. Honestly, I was in the building and I was like, if I get an Uber, like, is it gonna come to the door I'm at? Like, I don't know where to go.
Yeah, the funny thing about downtown, sometimes the buildings here sort of like help it. Well, they make the pin drop a little creative.
Yeah.
So it might be on the opposite side sometimes, and so it's nice to have that texting or calling option,
sure.
so you can say, I'm over here.
Exactly.
Where are you?
I think I was dropped off here when
Okay.
I came in, and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where to go to get my Uber.
Oh, shucks. And you're not familiar with the downtown, I'm guessing.
I'm not that. I'm still very new to Calgary.
Are you?
Yeah, I moved here in December.
Where from?
Ottawa.
Welcome to West.
Thank you.
What brought you out here?
Opportunity and just change. So I had
Gotcha.
2 friends that were like, hey, you want to move to Calgary with us? And I said,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. So I kind of find it, I'm trying to hold my smile in when you say opportunity brings you in a time when we're economically
I know.
low. Okay.
I know. So I actually work within the dental field, so there's a lot of job opportunities out here.
I see.
For myself,
Yeah.
and honestly, like as a healthcare worker in general, we
yeah.
all have so much opportunity, especially right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your choosing right now.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
choosy season. I
And
see.
honestly, like I've been working for like the last 9 years, like
Yes,
straight.
yeah.
So I was like, I can deal with a little bit of a break.
So you came here to experience something new in a work context still.
Oh yes, 100%.
The work context was the excuse, and the
Yes.
experiences was the real draw.
There you go.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. And you're in that season of life where you can still do that.
Exactly. Like honestly, this year, so I only really started snowboarding like last year.
Okay.
And then the season got cut short because of COVID.
Yeah.
So then I came out here with my snowboard and I was like, all right, this is where you're really going to learn.
That's funny. That's funny.
I never saw mountains until I got here, and oh my God, I love them.
Aren't they amazing?
I love
Like
them.
breathtaking, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like I honestly, like one of the first things that we did, and
Yeah.
I hate my friends for this so much, was they got me to hike to Halling Peak.
Okay.
And it was, I think, a 2.5 hour up hike.
Yeah.
And we got to the top and I was literally like, this is why I moved here. It was so beautiful.
Just, it captured it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I honestly, I thought I was going to quit. And my friends were like, no, Janelle, you can do it. And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And I got to the top and I was like, this is why I moved here. And it was so wonderful. Yeah.
It was worthwhile.
It was. It really was.
And then you thanked your friends afterwards
Oh, of course.
and said, you know better.
Yes. They do know better.
You know, they're going to appreciate this recording here. That is too awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
So my sister, I just got her, my baby sister. My
Yes.
baby sister is like significantly younger than I am. She just recently graduated, so I had her move out to live with me here, just so she could experience. I'm from BC. We're
Okay.
from BC. So her first time on her own, and so she's out living with me here, and it's a lot of fun. She asked, "Can I bring my snowboard?" I'm like, "Of course." I've never snowboarded myself or skied downhill. I've only cross countryed.
Okay.
So so she comes out with her snowboard, and of course that takes up its space. My brother in Edmonton, north of here, about 3 hours, he comes down with his girlfriend yesterday, and they went off snowboarding.
Yes.
Yesterday and today. And when she came with her snowboard, I said, "You of course brought your skates, right? Because I love skating."
Yes.
She's like, "No." I'm like, "You brought your snowboard, but not the
Not your
skates."
skates. I know. Actually, we skated to Lake Louise for the first time. When was it? 2 or 3 weeks ago.
How was the experience?
Oh, loved it.
Oh, was that
Literally, like
awesome?
I think I love skating more than I do snowboarding because
Wow.
I was literally like, guys, I'm in my element. I'm so
Holy
happy.
crap. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was so nice.
And were the ice sculptures still up, or had they
No,
been?
they didn't
Okay.
have any ice sculptures.
Okay. Maybe it's
Yeah.
because of COVID. Okay.
Yeah, so honestly, like even just like seeing the mountain and everything, I was just
yes.
like, this is so awesome. And like it's in our
Oh.
backyard.
And here's the perk of it all. Here's the brilliant masterpiece of it all. Even if you can't get to them as often as you like to, as like myself, you can still see them on the horizon
Yes,
here. It is
exactly.
so brilliant.
So I live right by, like my house,
Yeah.
you can see like Foothill?
Yeah.
Or no, Nose Hill Peak,
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes.
And honestly, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Because like you get like, you look one way, you see the city.
Yeah.
You look the other way, you see the mountains.
Oh my goodness, you get both sides.
Exactly.
I am trying to feel happy for you now.
Yes.
See, from my place, I'm over in Mission in the downtown core, and from Mission I have a beautiful view of the city skyline.
Yeah.
But I'm not high enough where I can still see the mountains in the backdrop. So I would like both ends. I would love both ends. But that may be a time to come still.
Yeah, yeah. It's so nice. Like, literally, like, I love Calgary.
Let me ask it a different way. What do you miss about Ontario?
Nothing. My family. Literally, that's it. Just my family.
Your family, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're really in your elements, right?
I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Welcome then.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So you're in a season of life, it sounds like, where you are seeing massive opportunity before you. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a really encouraging place to be when you're there.
It is. Because like I felt like life was getting stale, very stagnant in Ottawa, and like
I just talked to someone from Montreal and she said it's the same thing. That's why she moved out here.
Yeah. And so like, you know, as much as I miss my family, I love what I'm building here.
Yeah.
And so I'm just so excited about it. And honestly, real estate, like I was at that point where I was kind of like, I'm either staying in Ottawa and buying something, or I'm moving and figuring out whether I want to come back to Ottawa or not. And real estate here is so cheap compared to in Ontario. Like, you could get a 1-bedroom condo, maybe $300,000 to $400,000. And I'm like, for a 1-bedroom condo, that's outrageous. I saw listings here for $160,000.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
My mom, she's like, I might like get you, like, buy it for you so I can get like that investment. And I'm like, okay, if you want to do that, I'm happy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I couldn't believe it. Like, even like houses you're looking at anywhere for like $700,000 to $800,000. Like, outrageous.
Yeah. You know, Vancouver, I hear, is even worse.
Yes, it is.
Far worse.
Yeah. And like, my older brother lives in Toronto.
Okay.
And just for his like rent is, I think he said $2,300 for a 1-bedroom. And I'm like, $2,300 for a 1-bedroom? I'm in a little tiny house with my 2 roommates, and we're like $1,400.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I couldn't believe it. I was actually like, that's mental.
Yeah. And that's, I think, one of the things I love about Calgary is its accessibility.
Yes.
In some way, it almost seems a crime for me that such beautiful places have such a premium, so that it caps those who would love to enjoy for its richness. You know?
Yeah.
But then that's probably why I'm not really successful in business.
I can understand that. But I can definitely tell, like, you're more so like a people person. You don't want to deal with business. It's awful.
No, see, like, here's the thing. I like good business principles, but the ideal of business that I rarely find played out. I have my values that I won't be selling for the sake of business. I was asking one of my earlier riders, I put together a difficult dynamic for him. I said, imagine you knew a secret tactic in business that would make you lots of money, but it would affect your clients adversely, even though they didn't realize it. Would you take it? So that's what I find is usually happening in business. Regardless of, you know, the interests of those that you're trying to serve, you're in it just because of the bottom line of profit.
For sure.
Right? And I think that's where I'm always asking myself the question of, how much am I for sale?
Yes, exactly.
How much am I for sale in the sense of my principles? Can I actually go ahead and pursue business in the true sense of it, regardless of how it affects others?
100%. Because honestly, myself, working in dental, you know, I'm a healthcare provider.
Sure.
I put the care in front of provider. And so I worked at one office where that was exactly our morals. We said that we want to care for our patients. Whereas then I went to a different office and it was flipped. It was like, no, we're professionals. We want to make sure that we get the money.
Yeah.
And so it really took me out of everything, because I was just like sitting there and I was like, but I'm not treating my patient like a patient or a person. I'm treating them like a number. And that number has a value on it, and I don't like that. And so that was also a big reason why I decided to come out here, because I don't like the business aspect of things. I'm very personable, and I want to make sure that my patients feel that when they come.
I love when I see good business principles in play.
Yes.
I think it's magnificent. Let me ask you a question. I want to ask this question before I describe it to you, please say no if you're not comfortable with the idea, because that's also really important to me. When I'm not driving my Uber, I create a lot of content on the internet about how I connect with people.
Yeah.
I come across fantastic conversations where I'm like, oh, I would love to share this with my followers, but I never do that unless I have enthusiastic consent.
Okay.
Would you be willing if I shared this conversation?
Absolutely.
Okay. I just want to make sure that if you're
sure.
a private person, I wanted to honor that too, first and foremost.
Go for it.
Yeah. Do you mind signing a consent form?
Sure.
It's just a way of me to say, hey, legally, you know what I'm asking for, and so hurry up, please do that there. And then I'll finish my thought here while you're writing down there. Business, I don't think has to be evil. I think it's the way that we nuance or figure out how we make business work. I think once upon a time I was really disillusioned by business, and that's why I didn't go into business.
Yeah.
I used to work at a grocery store. They tried to get me into management, and I was like, I don't like the dynamic where the profit margin for the company, which is a non-living entity, and the health of this non-living entity is more important than the livelihoods that are trying to survive on a part-time basis. So I could make those calls of cutting someone off.
For sure.
Because we have to make a little bit more money for this entity. Now I understand that the business supports people, but that tension is really like, it really matters to me, you know, how that's played out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you, Janelle.
No problem at all.
Here, let me give you my card so you can find the kind of stuff that I do along the way.
Sounds cool.
This is me.
Thank you.
And my handle's on the back there.
Thank you so much. You were so nice.
I'm happy to meet you.
You too.
I hope you have the pleasure again.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Have
your
a wonderful
time
day.
here. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're so welcome, Janelle.